asking about
blue. Well, man, Rocket.
A lot of familiar faces here.
Lots of them. I mean, Calman, Vega, CJ. Hello. I mean, this is
a lot of
it. Stacked.
A lot of experience as well. So, I mean, one of the things with this roster is the majority of the 5 players on your screen right now have been competing in Path to Pro since, 2019, 2020. I mean, Calman's actually been on Northwood since 2020, which is nuts. I mean, it's before the huge collegiate explosion. I mean, I think Maryville was just kind of starting to get into the Path to Pro scene at that point. But the breadth of experience on this squad is nuts. I mean, we were talking before we went live. There was always the classic argument back when, American Tornado was still prominent, Dark Mode and some other squads here in NA, that were Vega and CJ the best backline in NA, or was it UV and OG? And there was always that back and forth, but that's the level of synergy and experience here with this team is unprecedented. I mean, it's why they're ranked number 2 overall in the country.
Absolutely. I mean, they absolutely deserve it, especially with the win over the standouts there at the revival of Redbirds Esports. We're going to see. I mean, how this season plays out. I mean, everything's up in the air for us right now, so we'll see how it goes. But now we'll take a look at their opponents, the Bobcats from Bryant Stratton College in Virginia. Our producer Hippie lives in Virginia, and so is waving the Commonwealth flag for them. Manually Slater. Cyber is one of my favorite tanks in the collegiate scene. Proda,
so underrated.
Oh my God, Proda is so damn mechanically gifted in the flex support position. I want to see how Proda goes up against a top tier elite team here, because I haven't seen it on stream. I've heard the results. I've heard the chatter through the Okra channels. I've heard it on Twitter. I need to see another sample size here for me, because I saw what they did to UCI a couple months ago, and it wasn't even close. Proda absolutely owned UCI just a couple months ago. So we're going to see. Today, this is a really good challenge for them.
Yeah, and as we talked about before,
the Zen nerf. It's not that big of a nerf. I think the biggest thing is that not as survivable when they have these flankers coming in, and with Tracer and Genji in such a good spot. Well, that 25% reduction off the kickback is really huge.
We have seen the shift to Moira a bit here prior to yesterday, which both of our teams are showing. Able to burst heal through that 20% healing reduced passive. Ava's going to find first kill, though, in BSC, who are going to be missing their Moira, and with it, that burst healing in this fight. With that, they just have to run. They can't risk losing anybody else this late.
I mean, but it's a smart disengage. So, I mean, you give up early percentage right now, but you get your whole team back together. This is really interesting that Calman's playing on the JQ. You're looking to get past the little Nemesis shield, really burst on top, use that Nemesis form to burst down the tank.
I love the trust out of Cyber, just holding their ground on that corner fearlessly. I mean, still floating about 100 health. Finally has to back off the point, and Calman will run him down. So Beaver's eventually punished as Calman follows that up with not 2, but 3 kills in all. And Calman on the Junker Queen seems to be a good pick right now over the Ramacha.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting a lot of versatility. You're getting a lot more extra mobility as well. Also the ability to pull somebody out of position with the Jagged Blade. So, I mean, the combos are looking good from Calman so far. This is the synergy that we were talking about that this Northwood Blue squad has. And now they're at 75% counting. They are looking to take this first rampage and really lay the Bobcats out on their butts.
Yeah, if you haven't played Junker Queen since Season 9 came out, you'd be astonished how well you can lay in that knife now. Look at Calman go! It was a huge rampage that kicked that one off, and everybody from Northwood Blue collapses on BSC.
I love the fact that they engage with the Coalescence as well, just to make sure that everybody's going to be nice and tip-top shape as they make that engagement with the Rampage. I mean, there's really nothing you can do. There's so much sustain, there's so much raw power, and then the anti-heal on top of that. Look for Rocket to land something on the back line, looking for Jimmicle.
Rocket threw it out. Ooh, lucky to honestly get out of their own pulse bomb. Did not hit quite where they wanted. Gonna be Coalescence out from Proda to try to escort BSC onto this point, but manually doesn't make the rotation. Looked like they got caught out trying to hold the flank, and everybody else is just gonna get mowed down. BSC got stuck in that tiny little entryway, and Vega drops a sound barrier just to make sure to 0 here.
Yeah, and I mean, we remember back in the day, Jeff, Rocket was known for Tracer. And I remember a Rialto map you and I cast where we saw the emergence of Rocket onto the scene properly. I mean, Door, Leg Day, they all thought that he was just a fantastic talent, and we're seeing him here on display once again. So,
y'all remember that squad? Bear Claw? Whew. Yeah,
Bear Claw. Yeah. Bear Claw game, yeah. It's so good. And we're seeing it here now on the collegiate stage as we head into Beach. And the same win condition really does apply here. I don't think that we're getting enough value, though, from Cyber on this Ramatra. You're not able to really kind of square up with the Nemesis field because you've got you've got Rocket going around the outside. Now you've got Haven coming out on the Echo. So I mean, the burst damage is going to be even that much more of a danger. We'll see if Proto and Jimmicle can keep them up. They need to really worry about the mobility going into this fight.
Whoop! Yeah, man, caught off guard with Cyber coming in on that right flank and takes them down real quick. Cowman did not expect that whatsoever. Haven had gone off on a bit of a silent mission across the left-hand side, but BSC just stormed the point.
Well, I mean, this is good stuff from them, and this is exactly what they needed to do. They needed to establish some kind of dominance, some kind of, you know what, I'm going to fight you back. Oh, we got a Malga sighting on their home of Samoa here. So that's going to be something that's going to be drawing a lot of the sustain, a lot of the cooldowns out of the Bobcats. I love this pick, and also this knockup is going to be huge.
It's all dependent on Cowman being able to get some kills in here, though. Haven goes down on the approach, gets picked off on the flank. Now Manually is just free to protect this point, but Northwood managed to sneak in. Rocket with the help of Vega overwhelm, and they're going to win that 2v1. Yeah, Manually can't even get the pulse out. BSC moving back to the point to try to see if they can counter against Northwood. But it's Cyber who drops the Nemesis Sword, but as it runs out, he's forced off the objective, and Calvate's still here, close to the cage, but low on health. Proto dropping the Coalescence to try to melt him down. Pulse Bomb thrown in, but Proto's able to just fade out of that. BSC lose Cyber, though, and with that, they're going to retreat. Jimmicle not able to get the sound barrier in play.
I mean, you know, you hold on to it. You're waiting for this cage match to come up from Cowman that's already gained it in one fight, BT Dubs. Also, Haven over to the Genji, so now you've got double flankers to worry about. I mean, great use of the deflect there to turn Proto's skill orb back the other way. But now it's going to be about Cyber. Can Cyber get this? Get the annihilation up before the cage match comes on? That's no.
Manually was trying to chase Vega, and Vega baited him right into the cage fight. You see Manually just stop, knowing that things had just gotten completely south. Now, it's going to be an annihilation from Cyber trying to bring this back. BSC's health bars are very low, but Northwood are not finding the kills. Northwood back up to the objective. BSC starting to give chase. Cyber pops the Nemesis for a little bit of extra armor, but still looks so low. Now the Katana comes out. Haven's going to chop through Proto. No chance Cyber gets topped off now. Tension turned to manually slice. Northwood, hang on.
I mean, that's a great kind of tit for tat battle. I mean, they've just taken the initiative, and they're doing the spawn door challenge at 85% and counting. Rocket with the 2K to clean everything else up, but yeah, I mean, Haven's going to go down. Now it's going to be about, can they touch the point?
Gonna be close. About 5 seconds. Rocket down. It's a good start here for BSC. They're going to get Vega as well. Jimmicle's racing and does get here. So it's going to be a 5v4 favoring BSC, but they're going to have to do this without their Moira. You still have Cowman hiding inside, runs on to the point, but doesn't get anything with the charge.
Well, I mean, this is going to be good for them. You know, they have some tools to play with here, and they're getting a lot of kills here in the neutral. You do lose your Tracer, but, I mean, you'll get the back quick enough for that. I mean, as it stands, you know what? Back out, recollect as a 5-man unit, and see what you can get done here as you cross the 50% mark.
Yeah, well, much Northwood wants to hold these angles. They don't bail on any of these positions until they absolutely have to. Here comes Vega with an approach, an aggressive approach, that is. Cowman went into the middle to go face down Cyber, but Proto has got a Coalescence at their back, and Cowman slowly backing away from it for the moment. Slater does have their ultimate, but took a big shot. I think that was from Haven. Nice! Finally drops the Death Blossom, but the sub barrier is perfect there from Vega. Slater goes down before the Death Blossom can get any real value, and Cyber's running out of resources with the cage fight in play. Nobody can stand a chance up against Northwood as they close this fight out in just about the map itself.
Yep, that'll be dollars that she wrote there. But, I mean, good fight back from the Bobcats. I'm really impressed with how they're able to disengage and also take fights on their terms. So, I mean, while it is a 2-0 win here on our control map, I tell you what, there are some signs of life here from this Bobcat squad, Jeff. And, man, Calman does not look like they have lost a single step. This rampage was freaking massive.
Yeah, well-deserved play.
We're going to be looking for flankers once again. Now, the Space Control is going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to see BSC come out here on the attack. So let's see what Northwood Blue are cooking up here. Rocket's going to stick with the old standby. But Haven showing us the Widowmaker, so Space Control is going to be at a premium for this defense.
Yeah, Vega's showing us the Curie as well. Which I don't necessarily mind. I mean, Rocket can still mark the flanks. It's just an interesting choice on coming out of Vega. Now, a good pick if you were expecting Cyber to pull off the Junker Queen. Clearly, the Suzu is still very good against Junker Queen's Rampage, and it was a good bet, as that's exactly what Cyber wants to roll out here. The Bobcats are sticking with the Lucio Moira.
Well, let's see what Haven has to play here with. There's a lot of mobility here for Northwood Blue. That's the big thing that I want to point out. I mean, even without the Lucio, you still got so much mobility in the support department. You've got Calman that can get out with the charge, and well, there goes Jimical down on the flank. Once again, Rocket playing in their space.
Yeah, Rocket playing off coastal side.
Oh.
Rocket just too darn strong, but with that kill on it, they're gonna have themselves a lot of room to work. Now, Vega looking to move in and slow down, take up the tool against manually. Vega will win that, but can't teleport out. All their friends had run away.
Well, there's still Rocket around here somewhere, looking for, a little bit of revenge. Calman will be back into the fight as well. So, I mean, the tank battle right now is kind of a wash. I think there's a little bit more mobility from the Mauga, a little bit better burst potential, but the ability to reposition that Cyber can do with the Ragged Edge or the Jagged Edge, I think that's going to be where we really see the big difference here in our tanks.
Yeah, and Cyber obviously looking for one of these squishies with Gracie. The carry would be the perfect one, not going to land. It has to just fall back, and in the meantime, Rocket has been able to find manually off the top. So BSC are losing a lot of their potency, particularly with Cyber going down. Rocket's looking to chase some exit picks, and we'll find some.
I think that, BSC might want to be thinking about investing in a Kiriko of their own, because this burn damage that's coming through from the primary fire of Calman has really been paying off some dividends here. We were looking at the finishing power of BSC, and that's an early coalescence coming out.
Later trying to counter it with attack visor, but nothing doing. As CJ getting the better of the coalescence trade, despite the two coming out from BSC. Haven does get chased down. Cyber finally landing a key Jagged Blade. Exactly what they need to start this off. Gets Vega as well. Beautifully done to just yoink Vega in. That's 2 quick kills for Cyber and a Rampage in the pocket.
Well, I talked about, how much the burn damage from the Mauga's coming through. That Jagged Blade is so good from Cyber, landing 2 of them. You get the reduced cooldown on it as well. Oh, but the cage match is out.
Gonna be a sound barrier here to counter from Jimical. They're holding on to the Rampage for the moment, trying to get Suzu out first, but it's just too much damage. BSC wait too long. They don't pull the trigger fast enough on the ultimates in their pocket, and North would capitalize.
Man, oh man, what a hold there. I mean, they really started off the fight good. I mean, it was on the back of Cyber. I told you, so underrated as a tank.
Really
and
is.
Really has provided a lot of this value that the Bobcats are getting. But now, I mean, they've only got this Rampage in their back pocket. They're going into a rush. This is going to be very difficult for them to get any space.
A little point check, while the rest of the team holds very close up. That thing applies, looking for Suzu before Cyber can really get maximum value out of this Rampage. Gets an early kill out of CJ. That'll do. Haven's going to fall as well. Cyber has to back out, but Calman is doing the same while the back cap comes through. BSC sneaking in.
I love it. I love it. You get to keep the Rampage too, so I mean, that's even better.
Jimical dropping 69. I like how Rocket just checks. Just like, come on now. Stop that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. This is exactly.
That was amazing.
This is our community. This is why we love the game, y'all. Is the smack talk. It's friendly. They know that they got called out. They got caught out. It's absolutely perfect. This is what I live for.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, here we are on point B, and Cyber still is not use this rampage. That's going to be it coming out, and it lands onto Cowman immediately. The cleanse is there. Haven trying to counter with the blade while Vega gets everybody topped up. Proto will finish off Vega, but Slater does eventually get found out. Still, the Bobcats manage to stay up in this fight, but Northwood not easily dislodged. It's going to be a pulse bomb coming out from Rocket, and Northwood hold the line. Even down in the fight, Northwood just will not go anywhere. Brilliant positioning from Vega up top to make sure Cowman can stay alive and get this cage fight out. Has got both supports in it. Proto's going down, so is Jimmical.
Lovely. Lovely stuff there, and I mean, we're at a minute 45 here in point B. Vega's still holding on to this rush. And I mean, that was expensive there from Northwood. I mean, 3 ultimates into the fight. Now, you know, there's a distinct advantage here for the Bobcats. I think that you go in aggressive with this sound barrier and with the tac visor.
Oh, they were trying to challenge Rocket as one does not simply take the tracer duel with Rocket. Finally, rushes for as Northwood Blue get really, really aggressive, looking to touch the spawn doors. Are going to be an investment of the Coalescence, and still Jimmical cannot survive. Manually landed that one. Nice revenge. Manually gets in the mix, showing off some skills before Haven finds the final blow.
I love the fact that Haven has gone back to this Genji. Really is able to get in there nice and close and be able to confirm these kills, these final blows, and take the fight on their own. But now, you know, even though they win this fight out, there's still a lot of space to recover here.
And it cost BSC 2 ults just to get out of spawn.
Right. And I mean, it's so much space that they have to retake now. And I mean, the positioning that's going to be available to them, Cyber finds Vega again.
That's actually a fairly decent-sized mistake from Vega. We'll be able to swift step back into the fight fairly quickly, but Northwood would much rather hold this bridge that they've been holding the whole time. Now they have to settle all the way back here because of the LOS BSC just bought by finding that kill.
I mean,
here comes Rocket trying to steal it back.
Right, and what we're looking for is, you know, how is Cyber going to put out this rampage? Because everybody's playing high ground. You're going to have to get him up there.
Down barrier in from Jimmical, and they have got to get value. You got to force Northwood back on this. You can't keep just rolling backwards. It's a cage fight, holding Cyber in place, and nobody able to get to it. Looks like one good letter number deserves another. Get a bit of a Malga 9 there in the chat. I think it's my first Malga 9, Billy.
I've never heard of a Malga 9, but hey, that's something that we didn't know we needed. Can we talk about the aim from Cyber, by the way? You know, we talk about how good they are at taking space, how good they are at being that front line of the spear here for the Bobcats, but really, the aim and then the pinpoint accuracy that we've been seeing from them all series long has been good. I love that from Manually, by the way. That was not an easy stick onto their counter rocket. So I mean,
after just getting completely bodied too, by the way, Rocket just absolutely rolled him in the previous duel, and so Manually came back unshook and lands that, you know, high difficulty level stick. So it was definitely an awesome play, but not enough, Billy. Not enough. Cowman and Northwood, they are so good at controlling space, even down in fights.
Truthfully, I love the fact that they have. They've got the gumption to really stay in these fights. They know that they've got a competitive advantage. They've got, you know, just so much extra time in the scene that they know when a fight is winnable, when they can stay in the fight. That's all to the years of experience that they've got in the forward path to pro. But now for BSC, I mean, positioning is going to be everything for them. We see no changes here from them. I'd love to see maybe a little bit of a change. Maybe in the
I love to see this aggression out of Cyber. I hope it stays alive, because that was awesome. Love the gumption. You were talking gumption? That was some brass we just saw out of Cyber, and they survived.
Full titanium, bud. Full titanium. Oh, I mean, maybe even platinum there. I don't know if that's I know that's but still, it's good. I just love the fact that Haven's still rocking this Genji. I mean, double flankers here for BSC. It makes the Moira and the Lucio so damn scared going to these engagements.
Cowman just reminded me of an airbender just smashing their face into a wall right there, but eventually does make it up, and just like our titular hero, manages to stand on top here in this early fight for Northwood. Rocket will come up with a little bit of cleanup. Cypher goes down. BSC have I set on point A cap.
Well, I mean, this is good. This is good from Northwood. I mean, they're going about their business very workmanlike. Working on some things here. The Mauga seems to be the really good pick here from Northwood, especially since we're not seeing the Cutico switch come out from BSC. So you cannot cleanse the burn damage coming through. And now, I mean, 503 as we enter into the second phase here of Route 66. And, I mean, Mauga's going to have the we're going to have the cage match coming up here very shortly. CJ, by the way, has swapped to a Baptiste and has the Amp Matrix online.
Manu was able to get Calman. That is massive. They wanted to drop the cage fight and combination with this amplification matrix. CJ puts it down, but Calman can't make it to the fight. Brilliantly done. Despite all the pressure on the Cyber, somehow BSC find the most vital and most difficult kill in the fight.
Vega's feeling themselves right now. Has high ground control.
What are you doing up here,
behind
Vega?
Everybody. I mean, watch for Kunai is coming out from nowhere.
You've seen Vega punished for this move like 3 times already tonight. So, it's okay. They're just Swift steaded out. Okay, there you go, Vega. Back visor out from Slayer. Cyber's under a lot of pressure, so I don't know how much room Slayer's going to find. Picks Haven out of the backfield, and looks like the cage fight went completely in vain on the objective. So BSC find things coming up their way, a little bit on their side and a little bit from Northwood, not catching what they need. Still, this card inches ever closer to the box of victory, and there's a ton of time on the clock. Cyber's not in this fight. Vega goes down, but Jimical has to jump down just to hold the point. Here comes Proto as well. Manually falls. They can't do enough to keep Manually up in that duel, but Cyber returns.
Watch for the Haven Blade coming up in this next fight. CJ over to a Moira. So we're going to see what they get done here. I mean, double DPS Orthwins here for Northwood should win them the fight. They've got 325. I mean, this would be like the most massive of holds ever, and Rocket just says, I'm going to go ahead and win this now.
Rocket's stick rate has been bonkers on this map. Just truly mind-blowing. Unreal. All right, Calman jumps down into the middle. Haven has a blade out in the back line. They're looking for your supports. Proto with the Coalescence is trying to fend off both Akiri and Haven with a blade. Cannot do it. Cyber goes down. Northwood clean it up when it's all said and done and move on to match point.
I mean, that was pretty comprehensive there from Northwood. There were some great fights there from the Bobcats. Let's be perfectly honest. They
absolutely
some staying powder. They've got some game in them. The dog has a fight there. But my word, Calman is on one right now. I love this tank duel, the Mauga versus the Jungle Queen. Didn't think I would have that on my Beagle card for this month with this patch the way it is, but it's absolutely yeah. I like this over New Junk City just because I like this map a lot more. It's prettier. Also, it's easier for a Junker Queen to get around. Lots of little nooks and crannies that you can kind of pounce out of, pull people out of position. Better lines of sight for your scrap gun as well. So we'll see how they move out with this. I'd like to see a little bit of versatility, though. I'd like to see the versatility from Slayer.
Whoa, hold the phone. Hey,
Nani? The troll is on.
CJ is playing the Ash. I was going to talk about something else, and I completely lost my train of thought when I looked up and saw Haven on a dead Zenyatta. And that was just it, right out of the gate. Try to go full poke with the Mauga. Northwood showing us something very different here. Immediately red as Slater wins out that duel over the support player that is CJ. And it looks like Northwood's hubris might cost them first control, though Calman's able to get one. Rocket and Vega are still here, but they're so low on health. Manually picks up both of those kills.
Well, I mean, sometimes hubris is paid out in full, so we'll see how this goes down. Yeah, and Calman is gone, so I mean, the synergy is kind of busted up right now. And I mean, Bobcats are too good of a team that you could really do this against. I'm just saying, Calman over to the newly buffed Roadhog, known for the Roadhog back many times over the years. So this is not actually a throw pick here for Calman. We'll see how they land now. They're going to get that little extra from the take a breather as well.
Yep, Roadhog did just get buffed slightly. Yep, but damage reduction like you're talking about. We'll see if it comes into play here. We recall off the point, and that's immediately Northwood grabbing control. The last bastion there was manually. BSC able to get decent amount of percentage built up, but manually, ideally, needs to survive here for BSC to get a quick re-engage. Oh, it's Jimmicle who goes down.
I mean, the push is on. Yeah, you can get right on top of that Roadhog, especially with the commanding count. He's that little boost of health because of that mobility, and they force out the Kitsune Rush.
A nice Jagged Blade that landed onto Vega, but with the Kitsune Rush there, Vega was just too powerful, and even with a big Omnic Butler invested, BSC now backpedaling fully all the way to their spawn. Proto get picked up in the meantime. Oh, Cyber kicking out. CJ finding the range.
I mean, CJ is too mechanically gifted. I mean,
yeah, no doubt.
Check the PC. Check the PC. Come on. I mean, it's just not fair.
I mean, flex support players are basically DPS players anyway, right?
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And I mean, good post comes out from Manuel. Bye-bye, CJ.
There we go. We were singing your praises, and now there's just nothing but an empty hat sitting on the battlefield. Haven's down super low. Manually has eyes on him. Heals coming through from Vega. Manually didn't pursue that. Didn't feel confident to take that duel just yet, but BSC has managed to take some point control. And all the while, Cyber managing to pick up both supports and build ever closer to that rampage.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to actually be a really good final fight, especially with the increased tick rate here coming through. They've got attack visor. Nothing really to defend against it. Cowman might be able to get a knock through here and take care of some work, but never mind. That's going to be Bobcats taking this first point.
Yeah, 2 quick kills and some wonderful aggression. BSC able to put it right back in Northwood's face. They can dish it as good as they can take it, Billy.
Well, Winton Overwatch has been activated here for point number 2. And I mean, once that flimsy little shield goes down, it's going to be the Bobcats. It's going to have a lot of ability to claim space and really get these kills that they need to assert their dominance here on the second flashpoint.
Looking for Haven to be able to close the gap here. Safely get on top of the rest of the team with the Kitsune Rush. There's not much safety anywhere around BSC at the moment. Still somehow, Cyber, ate the brunt of the katana. Not even the Cyber keeping them up. Slater running for dear life. A Transcendence out here from Northwood, and it's good enough. Haven's going to find a pick even along the way. He'll grab first control here on our second flashpoint.
So you yoink both support ultimates out of BSC. They thought they had the drop on Northwood Blue, and they said, hold my beer. I'm going to go ahead and let loose with this blade. And I'm also going to put the Transcendence, make sure the rocket stays alive. So now you get the Kitsune Rush ready, and Slater goes down in the heat, still holding onto this tack visor.
I think I mentioned Haven pulling out a katana in that last fight. Haven playing Zenyatta's breaking my brain, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's breaking me too, but hey, it's the best part of
seriously. Hey, I'm here for it. You know what? I'm here for it. I love it. Northwood, always fun. Always a fun time. Cyber, hoping to have a fun time with this rampage. Of course, the biggest counter to that ultimate, but I think if Suzu out first, this rampage could win him back to this point. Perhaps put him ever closer to taking this map, but Kitsune Rush is there. CJ's immediately taking advantage of that by throwing a Bob into the mix. Picks up 2. Cowman getting in on the mix as well.
I mean, that's just too clean. That's too clean. It's point and counterpoint, and Northwood Blue had the answer with the Bob when the attack visor comes out and they get nothing done. There's a dance. You'll love to see it. That'll be flashpoint number 2. Garden going the way of Northwood Blue. They are on match point right now. Manually is looking for the next flashpoint. They've got Pulse Bomb in hand. They're going to have a Kitsune Rush as well to speed up those machine pistols. Looks like we're heading to Temple next.
We're also headed to just pure Winton Overwatch. Cyber's made the swap. I love it. Territory. Manually not able to land that stick onto Haven, but still finds the kill with a little help from Proto. So the 3 players from Northwood on your screens, all they have to work with here as they approach this third objective. Early Suzu used to help counter the Primal Rage out from Cowman, who's actually fighting off all 5 players from BSC. Somehow manages to get out there with nearly half their health left as well.
I mean, do you expect anything different from Cowman? I mean, you know, they use it defensively, basically. They try to get some kills on the back of it. They try to get some displacement. They get that, but then they get the escapability as well. There goes Cyber down. That's an early good pick here from Northwood Blue.
Well, I mean, Cowman managed to buy enough time for those 2 reinforcements that had died to show back up in the fight. Yeah, BSC do manage to grab first control, which is not ideal here for the Timberwolves, but Cowman's efforts are immediately rewarded shortly thereafter. They flip it right back, Billy. That was incredible.
I like it.
Good raid.
I like it.
Good raid to stay in the fight in a 5v3, where I think anybody else would have disengaged.
I mean, a smart person would have, but I mean, you're not counting, and that's an early considered rush out.
Oh, it's all about knowing your limits. We're gonna get support ults and spades out from BSC. Attack visor combined with it. Eventually, they get the goods. I was worried there for a moment. Northwood almost managed to escape all 3 of those, but Cyber not letting that happen.
I mean, 3 ultimates out there, so I mean, Pulse Bomb will be back out again. Here for manually, you've got the Rampant, or you've got the Primal ready to go for Cyber. So, I mean, that's an instant boost to your health pool. Lots of staying power here. Now, the big thing is that CJ's got this Bob almost online. You throw it on the point. There's nothing really to defend, but that's a huge pick coming out from Cyber.
It's once again Cyber really leading the charge here for BSC. Staying in deep in enemy territory until they can find that all-important pick, and it's forced Northwood back. This could be final fight, or at least the last opportunity for Northwood to take this 3rd point.
If Calvin can build up Primal Rage here, it's going to be Rage versus Rage. And then you've got the Pulse Bomb in the back of it. Rocket over to a Reaper to build him down.
That immediately took a ton of damage. Big Omni Butler out. Calman 90% towards that Primal as Northwood loop towards the point. Calman's going to leap all the way into the back. A nice boop is forcing him back. Continuing rush was used from Northwood as well, and Proto finds himself overwhelmed with Rocket getting into the mix. Turn around, appeal for their own backline as BSC start to run. Cyber's been able to loop all the way around with Calman right hot in pursuit. Primal Rage now ready to go here for Calman. Turning the corner, Slater's trying to get away. Calman's gonna leave on top of him, eventually melted down as the Primal Rage comes out. All this time, Northwood managed to flip this point at 99% and are approaching the victory mark.
Well, I mean, that's going to do it right there, especially as Cyber is not able to really get anything done with theirs. I mean, they basically reset their health pool. I say that as they take Haven down, and can they get a touch?
Jimical already initiated the overtime. Cyber's going to move in to keep it going, but is immediately greeted by both DPS here from Northwood. Nobody else can make it down the stairs. Northwood up 2-1 in the map.
Well, now we're going to see what comes of this next fight. Where are we heading? Looks like we're heading to Ruin. Yeah, we're heading to Ruin next, so not a very far fight, a very far flight for these Bobcats coming through. They're going into a Blossom, though. That's going to be a kicker. The Suzu has to be perfectly timed here, but they're going to have both support ultimates to kind of defend against it.
Really good RNG roll for the Bobcats on this spawn point.
Woo!
This objective, that is, being so close to their spawn point. 5v4 right out of the gates. This Proto Swift steps in, looking at an opportunity to use the Kasunia Rush. Does, but a Soundbarrier from the other side is just too good. A lot of damage right out of the gate from Northwood, and it was the first sound barrier being the better sound barrier. Not something you traditionally hear in Overwatch, but with the aggression from Northwood now being punished. BSC have swung this thing. The rotation all the way around working like a charm this time. It failed them in the last point, but BSC make it happen. Rocket's still trying to turn the fight. CJ, everybody in the mix. Who's left? It's Slater and Manuel's left alone when the dust settles.
I mean, Slater's kind of been diffed out here throughout the series and finally gets it done, but they take a swim. Haven says, I can do it too.
Manuel's going to land the stick, but there is a Suzu available. Vega's going to go ahead and throw a Kitsune Rush into the mix. Buy time for the rest of the reinforcements to show up. Has eyes on Cyber. Leading the charge for BSC to try to return to this fight. The last opportunity in this map. Man, somehow finds themselves in the drink as well. So Northwood gonna have to fend off the Bobcats without their tank. Cyber has a Primal Rage. It's gonna have to pop it. Susie was used at the same time. Looked like Jimical was going off the side. It's gonna be a kill onto Vega in lieu of that support being gone. BSC to find the value here. Hellman returns, but has no reinforcements. Still pops Primal.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of staying power. Slater going down. Jimical going down as well. This might be a fight flipper.
Watch out, Manuel.
Or Northwood Blood.
He was waiting to ambush Manuel. Nice little blink dash. And went out that duel. Manuel has got to be happy about this, right? Winning the Tracer duel against CJ has been a lot easier than against Rocket. Slater pops the attack visor here on the objective, but it was a quick fade from Rocket. Speaking of, Catman returns on the Doomfist, but eats the brunt business into that.
Slater seems more worked up or more warmed up right now. Might be worked up as well, too, as being taken the brunt of all the aggression coming from Northwood Blue, and now they're looking to get super aggressive coming in here.
Yeah, Cyber seemed perfectly comfortable here in the Winston duel. Ever since they made that swap, BSC have been really in their rhythm, finding 2 quick picks here, and what will be the final fight on this point? Will be one last objective to...
Well, I mean, they're going to have a host of ultimates that they're going to have to be defending against. They're going to get early progress towards it. Oh, no, the RNG swings against the Bobcats, though, as we head to Palace. And, I mean, they're going to have, well, CJ swapping over to the Sombra. Have not seen this for a minute.
Yeah,
I am not hating it.
No, because Slater can sit up on these high grounds otherwise, and I don't think, I mean, I guess they're trying to challenge with Sombra, get CJ in to see if they can disrupt Slater. Kalia doesn't find any entrance, though, gets the wall. Let's see, manually picks up 3. That's going to be a swap, I'm guessing.
It has to be. It has to be a swap. Yeah, Calman over to the Junker Queen. But, I mean, for the Bobcats, I mean, they're going to get the first capture percentage going on. I mean, Haven does lose their life, but they take their own kill on the way out. So, Lucio, not available here for either side. And, well, we'll see now. The Pulse Bomb, I mean, where's your stick target? You're most likely looking for Haven. You might want to throw it on the Calman to see if you can confirm a kill.
You saw him mainly trying to sneak around to the back while this fight's taking place on point. Cyber pop out a Primal Rage and is going to just push Vega all the way out. Vega Swift steps back in. Rocket winning their first duel after swapping back over to the Tracer. The SE kind of on the outskirts of this objective right now. Not able to get a stable foothold. Proto ran in just to hold on for as much time as they can. Oh, Boop gets 2, sending him right into the welcoming arms of Calman.
Well, I mean, that's was needed because if they don't win that fight, they lose the map. We go to map 4. And as it stands, now they're going to go into double support ultimates here from the Bobcats. They've got their DPS ultimates online as well. One fight, Rocket almost has a pulse bomb, but I mean, it's going to be up to Calman. I think Calman's going to be the kicker here. If they can land these jagged blades once again, they go in and just get it done.
The SE are going to pull the trigger early with the first Kitsune rush, trying to just run down Calman. They'll set it for Vega. The attack visor fades. Do Northwood have anything? No, Calman doesn't even get the rampage out. Calman is gone. Cyber has done it. We're calling one of the most underrated tanks here in Collegiate. Has put BSC just slightly out on front.
I also want to throw out there from Proda. I talked about it in our preamble. The fact that it has just the best of the flex support genes in their gene pool. And that early Kitsune rush really did solidify that fight. It's going to be a really broken last fight here.
Oh, man, what's an early? Lands the Jagged Blade. Oh, but a quick step. Still, Slater goes down. It's CJ that follows up on it. And an early edge here Northwood as the sound barrier comes in from Jimical. Rampage gets booped. I think that found 1. Yeah, Jimical is indeed purple, but is safely on the high ground. Oh, but another nasty blade. Gracie is putting Bobcats in the grave as Northwood slowly pick them apart. Jimical was the last. Maybe time for one last chance.
They're going to get aggressive. I foresee a early blade coming from CJ to pull everything out. And Proda, I mean, if they fade too fast, they're going to get sliced and diced as fast as you like from the Ginsu.
From the outside. Proda looking to just build up a little ult charge of Coalescence would be so huge in this fight if they could get it up. Give me a Kitsune Rush, the first of the ultimates out. The CJ1 in combo with that. Bobcats are timid. They're staying on the outside. Bubble shoes, cooldown shoes. They haven't made it onto the point. Jimical has to run into a katana, just a touch, and it's a death sentence here for the Bobcats. Northwood, they close it out, off-rolling or not, and they stay flawless here at NECC.
Oh, my word. I mean, they have not dropped a map yet. And, I mean, still, CJ is on one. I love it. The Ash pick was huge. I liked the CJ Genji as well.
The CJ Genji.
Did you ever think you would say that in your life? I